You, I, and us. You were given the world in your hands, while I was taught to carry it with trembling hands. Us, we were forced to walk the same tight road, but only one of us was allowed to dream and hope. It took me years to wake up to the truth, to see this game we've been forced to play, to realize that the cards were never meant for us and the deck was stacked long before our game. I was promised the same fate as every woman before me, told the same lies, told know your place, lower your stairs, smile, be kind, don't take up space. It was never equal, it was never ours. We were born into the shadows while they were given the power. Don't you see? This isn't an illness, this is an inheritance, a lineage of mothers whose voice trembles from holding too much fear, daughters with lungs full of unsaid things, sisters who were made to feel like their sadness was an inconvenience, and wives with voices too loud for the world but too soft to be heard. For centuries, silence has woven our fate and told us our struggles were ours to contain. But the truth isn't quiet, and neither are we. So we ask that you listen, and you listen loud and clear. And listen not to reply, but listen to understand it from our perspective. But why, you may ask? You were handed your legacy, but sweetheart, for us, we were handed a sentence, and the only answer we ever got was, you're a girl. You're a girl, so you will learn to be like one. So just this once we questioned, we bravely questioned, defined being a girl. But it was silence that greeted us, and we were taught with tapes on our mouth, with our hands bound so tight, those rusty metal chains digging into our flesh until we could no longer tell where they ended and where we began. They stitched shame into our skin and called it modesty. They carved fear into our bones and called it obedience. They stole our voice and called it peace. But nothing about the silence was ever peaceful. But tell me, how long can you silence a storm? How long can you chain the sea before the tides turn? How long can you deny a reckoning before it arrives knocking at your door? This mind is a furnace, a functionary that spins wounds into wisdom, silence into sonnets, trauma into tolerance, and a voice into a storm too violent to silence. A woman is not a cage, not a compromise, not something to be conquered. She is a ripple, a renaissance. She is a revolution. Thank you.